Hey guys, it's me Tilly, and today I'm back with the long-promised progression series in which I start over on a new character and basically take you by the hand and tell you and show you everything that it takes to unlock the latest raid, which right now is ROMEL. By the time I get there might already be the next raid Naberius. If that is true, then I will obviously extend this series. You also might have noticed, unlike on Lethal release where we did something similar, I did not do daily videos on every day and what I've accomplished, because this series will take more time than the Lethal series, and I didn't want there to be a lot of filler episodes in which I really don't tell you much, because that would get boring, and if I uploaded 10 minutes every day and 8 of them were useless, then after some time you would also probably stop watching the series altogether. So these videos will always happen when I think there's enough important information. And today I will tell you about my first 5 days of what I've done on this character. When I mention days in this series, I'm really only talking about days on which I actually actively played. So technically today is the 7th day of her release, which means I could have played on the 6 previous days, but I took 1 day off because of IRL, meaning I played actively for 5 days. Cool. I'm doing this video today specifically because I don't want to call it a wall, because we progressed pretty well so far and we're still nowhere near to be stuck. But up until today, the first 5 days, I did not have to spend any gold on this character, which is really cool because we already got far, you'll see by the end of the video, and we didn't even have to spend any gold. We were able to save up everything. We got like 15 million from the story alone. We were lucky and got some drops that I sold for some additional gold, and then obviously just doing raids you get gold as you complete them. So almost a week after the release we are sitting on a comfortable 25 million almost, which I'll also kind of predict what I'm gonna spend it on at the end of the video. Alright, let me tell you about my very first day, and there should be a day counter somewhere as well. But day 1 was probably the most boring one because we did story and that's it, period. We spent 5 hours to finish season 1 and then another 3 hours to finish season 2, which left us as level 90 and got us the level 90 gear. From there, on day 2, that was the fastest day that I ever covered in such a series, but on day 2, I was left with the decision to either grind levels and get the Astera gear and start raiding, or keep doing story. And the second one, spoiler alert, is the one that I decided to be the better one, grinding story and unlocking the redeemers. Because even if I get level 100, I will obviously get the Astera gear, like everything that I basically have equipped right now, but it will still be locked on Marject. There should also be a list of bosses that I can do right now on the side. Marject would be the latest boss that I can do right now, which is cool and all, but I really want to get into season 4. So what I did on day 2 is I spent another 2.5 hours doing story, and then we did Nimhain, the first redeemer. If I show her stats over here, all of those stats I got already on the 2nd day of this character existing. I know I got a bit lucky, because when I finished the story there was a boat right away, and I only need to kill her 2 times for max stats. You will need to kill her 4 times for max stats. But long story short, 5 crit and 1k attack was enough to get this character into Aodan. Aodan already being really good, since he drops the meaningful enchant scroll if you're lucky. But if you're not lucky, it's just yet another raid you would be able to do. Other than these dungeons, we then spend some more times actually raiding, because the smart thing would be to just grind story. Grind. But I didn't want the first days of this character to be just story grind for entertaining purposes for the stream and just for myself, because I wanted to play raids with her. But in theory, the best call would most likely be to just grind story, because later on we'll need Baylor as well, the next redeemer. However, on my first day of playing the endgame, or 2nd day of playing this character, I got a bit lucky, to be honest. I dropped a conviction scroll myself, which I sold for like 5 million, which is the reason why after 1 week I already have like 25 million. You can have more, honestly. You can have more drops or just do more raids and get more gold this way. Or you could maybe have a bit less gold, but really up until now, it doesn't matter since I didn't spend any of it. I didn't put my luck to use yet. Alright, so with Aeodan being unlocked, the next raid will be Caesar. And for Caesar requirements, they were actually pretty easy to get as well. Where I bought the AP Epaulet. If you head over to the inn, it's basically where you spawn, and you use the AP shop, you get another 500 attack, 500 defense. And another thing I did was getting the Freezing Cold Winter Epaulet, which you get from the exchange shop. And then from the coupon shop, you scroll down a bit, and there you have it. It provides you with another 500 attack, 500 defense, 2 critical, which is really big, and the counter force. While you don't need the counter force to unlock the raid, it will help you deal more damage, so you're on the safe side and you will not deal too little damage to get rewards. But with just these few things, buying these exchangeable items, I want to say, and finishing the first Redeemer, we actually unlocked our first Season 4 raid, which is huge, which is massive, because for our later progression, we are looking for a lot of Milesian drops, the Milesian essence for the offhand, all of the Milesian weapon, shards and essence, and also some Milesian armor parts. So basically any orange drop that Caesar provides would be either big money for us or something that we actually need to progress ourselves. And we got there on the third day of playing, because the Epaulet I only bought on the 3rd day, which brings us, counter up, to the 3rd day of me playing this character, in which I really only did raids, to be honest. I didn't do anything fancy. I sprinkled in some dungeons, because again, it was mostly for content and for entertaining, where I didn't want to have hard blocks of me doing story for another 2 hours. So I did a few dungeons, did a few raids every now and then, which is something you can do as well. You don't have to grind story in like one go once you are level 100. You can, whenever you see boats or parties that you would like to join, you can do so. Like, feel free. But apart from that, the day 3 was really uneventful. Maybe the only other thing that's worth talking about is me getting the weapon to 13, the Astera weapon, which is the only upgrade that I think you should go for, because the attack speed and the AD you get from it is really huge. I did not even get my armors to 13, only 2 out of those 5. This is done, by the way, getting them to 13, I keep mentioning it, buying these runes from the Seal of Bravery shop. I could, and I probably will, get these to 13 later on, but for now I spend my seals. If you check all of my accessories, there's an infusion, +1 balance here, +1 balance here, there's crit 1, there's crit 1, and there's also crit 1. And that's exactly what I spent them on, because those stats helped me to unlock more and more raids. For C's, I think I was fine without, or Baylor, no, sorry, for Nile, the next one is where I needed those, and then later on as well also for Ragnahim. But while getting your armor to 13 is cool, getting the requirements for the next raid, in my opinion, is a bit cooler. Feel free to first get your armor if you're a new character or a player, really, that's not feeling super confident in unlocking raids fast. You can take the slow approach, take the +13 armor first, and take some more days. I know that I'm really privileged knowing all of these bosses, and my performance is really only gated to, can I join the raid, and not, do I understand the raid, do I die a lot, and so on and so forth. I'm just really speedrunning this progression, yes. So with the 3rd day being done, let's talk about the 4th day, in which we kept doing story, we did more dungeons, and then we unlocked Baylor, which took me another 2 times to get all of his stats, another 5 crit, another 1000 attack, and it made me unlock Nile, which is really cool because now I have twice as many Season 4 raids to do and basically twice as many chances to get loot that I need to progress my character. That was really it. I did some other raids, obviously Season 3, and then we also did a few Einluckers. This is gonna be a spoiler for a later episode, and it's really something that I should have mentioned on the second day. But we started doing Einlucker basically on the first day. So far, I'm really trying to not get the stats from Einlucker because I'm planning to do this after like 2 weeks of playing the character to give you guys an actual chance to catch up and already do some of them as well. But just so you know, get started on Einlucker ASAP, because really, so far we were fine without the stats, but we'll get to a point where we need them. And I just need you guys to know that the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be able to unlock the things later on. Because there will be a point in this series right here where I will be like, hey, I got my Einlucker stats, so this unlocked me the next raid. And that might be the case, or that might be the point where you guys might be stuck for some days, which is not terrible. I'll just let you know right now so you have a fair chance to finish Einlucker faster than if I tell you in like 10 days, oh, I, by the way, did Einlucker, and then you start. There would be a bigger delay for you, just to give you a fair chance. Then on the 5th day, playing the character, we basically kept doing story. This time it's not dungeons. This time after you finish Baylor, the story really consists of doing Season 3 raids. So that's what we've done. We did Season 3 raids, each one time, to work our way up to Brig, Tempering the Sword, which we unlocked and also did 2 times. Again, you guys will need twice as many runs, so 4 runs, which again is doable in 1 day or the first week really, to get the first 2 milestones. These are the ones that I'm really after, because yet again, after the Redeemer stat changes this patch with Downer release, this will already get you 4 crit, which is big. Big, big, big. And with everything else that I showed you so far, the infusions and the other Redeemers you finished, the AP items here, this will already unlock Ragnahim for you. At least for me it did. I'll be honest, I have really high defense, so we may need to talk something else that I did as well, where the defense mastery, you should really try to get this one maxed soon after reaching level 100. Like soon after you finish your story and you really want to start raiding. Smash and crit and combat mastery, these 3 should really always be maxed as you level. So by the time you reach level 100, these should already be maxed. And then take a look at defense mastery and also take a look at agility right here. Get this one to 2k. Only get as much in this agility mastery as you need to get to 2k right here, because again, that's a little more defense that you will get. But with all of these things that I mentioned so far, you may actually not be quite there, because my character has a lot of titles from my main, so I'm not quite sure if this is a breakpoint type of scenario where I would unlock it and you don't. But if that's the case, it's fine, because the next thing that I will want to do is exchange this piece right here for the Militian book, which will give you enough defense. So up until right now, your play is still the same. Doesn't matter if your account progression will not provide as many stats for you, but be aware that the next step will even help you to get there anyway. So those are the first 5 days of my Dana progression. It left me unlocking 50% of the Militian raids, of the level 105 raids, meaning that I only have 4 regular raids to unlock, and also Laura, 1 Redeemer, which will play quite a big role later on in the progression series. You might have already thought so, because we had a high priority on the first 3 redeemers, and we'll even try to get ourselves into some Laura boats to also get her stats as soon as possible. But more about that in a future video. For now, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this one. If there are any questions on your mind, please feel free to spam them down below in the comment section. Reach out to me on Discord, it is linked down below in the description as well. If you have any questions, reach out to me there. As long as my button is showing green and I'm online, I will probably respond, or at least try to get back to you as soon as possible. If it shows purple, then why not also visit me on Twitch, because that means that I'm streaming over there. Link will be down below in the description as well. But for today, guys, again, stay safe, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!